Okay. Start with then. So start on your back, arms outstretched, roll your knees from side to side. Get going with that as soon as you're ready. So for today's session, sorry, I'm going to mess around with the camera angle just ever so slightly. There we go. For today's session, you will need a raised surface like a sofa or a chair or something for doing some dips later on. But I think you should be able to find something like that fairly easily. But first of all, on your back, roll your knees from side to side. I'm just going to set up my tabata timer because we're doing some tabata training today. Okay. It's not quick to do this. Right, so keep rolling your knees from side to side. We'll do this for about another 30 seconds. Fab. Right, that will do. So stay on your back. Bring your head up into your hands, one leg straight, one leg bent, kick up the straight leg. We'll go for about 30 seconds on each leg. And stupidly, when I was out of here for now, I left the heating on, so I've just come back in to it being absolutely boiling hot in here. Well done, keep going. Nice bit of sunshine this afternoon though. And change legs. So over the 30 seconds, just work on increasing the kick as we go. Well done. Last few seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Feet together on the floor. Keep your legs bent. Arms down by your side. Push your hips up nice and high, and then roll your back down to the floor. So high hips, roll down. Really take the time to roll your spine back down to the floor. Good, just do one more. And then roll onto your side. Realise when I was planning this, we haven't done this, one of my favourite Jane Fonda exercises for a while, so we're doing it today. So lie on the side, both legs straight, brace your core, and then kick top leg up and down. When you bring your leg down, don't let that foot touch the other, so it stays active all the time. "30 seconds on each side." What you might feel is that your upper hip is rolling back and forward. Try and control that as much as you can. 2, 1, and then change sides. Off you go. Well done. So again, just trying to really brace your core to stop your top hip rolling back and forward. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and then over onto all fours. Make sure you've got your shoulders over your hands. Draw your tummy up towards your spine. One leg straight out behind you, and you're going to kick your straight leg up and down. When you tap your foot to the floor, tap it really lightly. And when you kick your leg up, you can let your leg come higher than bum height. So it's not like we do for the alternate arm and leg extension, where your heel stays the same height as your bum. So you should hopefully feel this in your bum cheek. And change sides. Well done. So I'm kicking up quickly and lowering down to the floor a bit more slowly, using my core to help brace myself in the return movement. Couple more. And then push up into straight arm plank. So from there, you can bend your knees if you need to, walk up nice and tall, stretch up arms, reach up really high, and then roll down again into straight arm plank. Keep pushing up with different hands, and then walk out. Good, keep going. Put on the lights actually. I shouldn't have said that it was a nice sunny day because the sun immediately disappeared. Keep going. Do one more. And then stay down into that straight arm plank position. Drop your knees to the floor. One leg forward, other hand down. And do a nice big reach and stretch around. Look at your hand as you rotate if it's comfortable. If not, just look straight down at the floor. Two more. And then change sides. Good. So really work on the pushing through phase of this. Try and get your arm behind the other one and push through as much as possible, and hopefully feel a bit of a stretch across your upper back. Two more. So next one, you have two options. One is knee friendly if your knees are a bit dodgy. So either kneeling up and down, so it's that crouching kneel up and down, 30 seconds with each leading leg. If you're not happy doing that, then do a crouching step back instead. Off you go. So for this first one, we right leg up, and then right leg back. Try and keep your core braced, whichever one of these that you're doing. Two, one, change legs. Much harder on that side. Keep going. So if you're doing the kneeling up and down, this is a little bit more cardiovascular than the step back, but the step back will warm your glutes up just as well. 3, 2, 1. Then back down onto your knees, half straight arm plank. So on your knees, make sure you've got your bum tucked under and core braced, and you're going to do alternate arm extensions. Keep looking straight at the floor, and when you raise your arm, thumb up to the sky or ceiling. We're not quite to sky weather yet. So you will rock from side to side doing this, that's fine. Just try and keep your core braced so you're limiting that movement as much as possible. Another 5 seconds. 2, 1, and then push up into pike. So your bum nice and high in the air, and dip, alternate heel to the floor. That feels very nice today. I did some speed work yesterday. Whenever I do speed work these days, I'm reminded of the fact that I'm too old to do speed work. Keep going. Last few seconds, 2, 1, and then next one, stand up slowly. slightly more high intensity now to get your heart rate up a little bit. So start off in a kind of half squat position like that. Stick your bum out, core brace, and I want you to do some hand punches. So palms out, punching forward and really trying to get your upper back working as you're hitting forward. Be aggressive with the hit as well. Really push. Imagine you're pushing your hand through a big, thick paper bag. That's it. And then go into a split squat position. So small split squat, keeping your bum pushed back. And then try and jump to change legs. Change legs again. I'm going to start changing legs more quickly. So every 4 palm hits, change legs. So this should be okay for your knees. It's a really small stride. Five seconds. Good, done. Right, hopefully your heart rate's up a little bit now. Roll your shoulders back a few times. So set 1, we're doing a tabata workout today. That's using my timer. You might hear it in the background. If not, I'll talk over it as well. First set, 4 exercises, 30 seconds work, 15 seconds rest. You should know the format. We're going 2 rounds, then rest for a minute, and then 2 more rounds. So first exercise is just running on the spot. If you want to push your heart rate up and make the rest of the workout harder, run hard. If not, you can just make it a low, easy movement. Then side to side. Touch the floor, moving from side to side. Again, the faster you move, the harder work it will be. Then a plank tap. So either a full straight arm plank or on your knees, shoulder taps. And then finishing off on your back, into bridge, with your arms up above your shoulders, doing some quick kicks. So quick leg extensions. And then back round again. Right, so we get a 7-second lead in. Start jogging on the spot. I'm going to press play. Starting your tabata workout. I do love her little accent. Starting your tabata workout. 2, 1, go. Right, this is where I have to work out. I've got an inadequate ponytail for this. Bear with. I've got those wee rubbish hairbands that 3 times round isn't enough. 4 times round is a Croydon facelift. 5 seconds. 2, 1, rest. 15 seconds rest. Side to side running. So it's touching the floor between your toes, deadlift, and then jump from side to side, floor touch again. 3, 2, 1, off you go. So you just need your mat length, but if you've got more space, you can run further. Really focus when you're pushing off, doing the side to side run, that you're trying to use the side of your glutes as much as you can. It will help you keep your core braced as well. 5 seconds. 2, 1, rest. So plank tap for this one. Remember, you've got options, either full straight arm plank or onto your knees. So if you think the full straight arm plank is too much for the first set, take the modified version. 3, 2, 1, off you go. So I'm doing this with my legs quite wide apart just to give me a little bit more stability through my hips. You will rock from side to side, but you want to limit the movement as much as possible. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Oh, no, I'm getting up. I don't need to get up. Bridge. So, on your back. Do this with your arms raised. It'll just give you a bit more instability through your core that you'll have to work to brace yourself against. 2, 1, go. So this is a quick leg kick. I'm placing my feet back to the floor, quite close to my bum. So when I talk about doing this kind of exercise, I do talk about not letting too much movement through your hips and trying to keep your hips as level as possible. Because it's a quicker movement, that's not quite so important. Try not to let your hips dip too much from side to side. 3, 2, 1, up you get. Running on the spot again. If you're not too out of breath, you can just go straight into this. I'm just going to check my Wi-Fi because I've got a feeling. Off you go. I'm going to disappear for a second when I check this. I think I've got the wrong Wi-Fi on. There you go, I'm coming back. Yeah, I thought so. There we go. Hello, that's better. I was on my rubbish Wi-Fi network, not the good one. I will come back in a second, I promise. 2, 1, and rest. There we go. That's better, a bit clearer now. Okay, side to side runs. My phone defaults to the Wi-Fi network in the house, which isn't good enough. 2, 1, off you go. Floor touch, run from side to side. So the idea of this, as well as being cardiovascular, is trying to get your bum working as much as possible, particularly at the sides. So really focus on that working as you're jumping from side to side. It's quite a glutey warm up this with the bridge as well. 3, 2, 1, plank. So if you started off on your knees, try starting in the full position this time, even if you have to drop down halfway. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, off you go. Ten seconds. 2, 1. Onto your back. So arms up above your shoulders. Ready for the kicks. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. So I'm kicking quite quickly, not letting my legs stay extended for too long. Last few seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Right. Minute and 15 seconds rest. Grab a drink. So we get to a minute. If you want to start the jogging on the spot a little bit earlier, you can. Don't have to take the full rest. I left my drink in the house. That's not good, is it? Oh, there's just a touch of the spring today, isn't there? Just a little bit. All right. So we've got another 2 rounds of those exercises to go. If you want to, for the bridge extension, you can try holding a weight to your chest if you want to, but you don't need to. This is all body weight today. All right, 30 seconds. So if your heart rate's come down a lot and you want to start moving again, that's absolutely fine. You can start jogging on the spot early. You don't need to take the full amount of rest. So you want to keep your feet moving, then we get to the actual running on the spot section. You can pick up the pace, bigger arm drive, knees a bit higher. All right, get ready now, 5 seconds. So round 3, 3, 2, 1, off you go. Running on the spot. Pick up the pace if you want to. Good. So a bigger arm drive will make it feel harder, even if your legs aren't coming that much further off the ground. Almost there. 5 seconds. 2, 1. If you want to go straight into the side to side run without rest, go for it. The rest is there if you need it. But if you want to push on, you can just start moving early. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. Keep going. 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Plank taps. But definitely start in the full plank position this time and try and keep it going for the full 30 seconds. Take the full rest of this one though. 3, 2, 1. Off you go. So while you're tapping your hands to your shoulders, you'll feel your hips moving. Really try and work on bracing yourself now so that you don't move too much from side to side. 10 seconds. 2, 1. Onto your back, bridge. So I talked about using a weight. You can hold a weight if you want to, so that's to your chest, or even above your shoulders. That's optional. Off we go. Spin round. The sun is right in my eyes. As lovely as it is, I need to be able to see. 10 seconds. So if your bum is starting to get a bit tired doing this exercise now, really work on engaging your core, so keeping your tummy pulled down to your spine. 2, 1. Good. One more round of this. So it's back to running on the spot. Start straight away if you want to. Well done. Good. Off you go. So if you've been carrying on running, then just pick up the pace a little bit for this last one. You can even move around a little bit if you want to. You've got some space. Well done. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Side to side shuffles again. Start straight away if you want to. Off you go. So really thinking about those glutes working. Fifteen seconds. 2, 1. Onto your back. No, onto your front. Getting over excited, going to bridge too quickly. Plank. 5 seconds. 2, 1. Off you go. Last one of these. So your tummy might be getting a bit tired now. Work really hard to keep your hips low. Keep your tummy pulled up to your spine. Pull up your pelvic floor as well. Don't forget that. Brace everything. 5 seconds. 2, 1. Now onto your back. So try using a weight for this last one if you haven't yet, if you've got one handy. So the weight's going to be held above your shoulders. 2, 1. Off you go. Remember, keep your core braced. Well done. Three, two, one. Rest. Fab, well done. Okay, this next set, you need a raised surface. So I'm going to use my bench. A chair would be ideal. So we've got a chair handy to make sure that it is secure against something. I just realised that my radiator is holding my bench in position. There we go. I'm just going to move this around so it's easy to see. Right, this is the doorway. Okay, so 4 exercises again. First one of my faves, the old arm sprint. So this one is 20 seconds work, 10 seconds rest. Same principle, doing 2 sets, rest, 2 sets. Perfect. So the arm drive, as soon as you start, when I say go, few slow arm drives and then go into the sprint. So you'll sprint for about 15 seconds. Then you're rolling over into a low plank. Again, you have options if you want to make it easy to begin with, onto your knees. But it's full plank, 20 seconds. Then you're going onto your raised surface. So you're doing a dip. Get yourself into position, bring one leg up, 2, change legs each time. So you do 2 dips with your leg raised off the floor, keep changing feet. And the last one, cruelly, is a jump squat. So you can choose how low you go. Because my knees are a bit iffy, I'm only going to go into a high jump squat. If you want to make it harder, get into a lower squat. It's up to you how tough you make that. But let me just alter this quickly. So let's go from 30 to 20. So it's 20 seconds work and then 10 seconds rest. The rest of it is all the same. 10 seconds. All right, so you get a 7-second lead in. We're starting with arm drives. So you just sit on the floor, legs straight, torso nice and high. 5 seconds. Off you go. So the first few arm drives, steady, and then go, sprint. Try not to hunch your shoulders, keep your shoulders low, and drive your arms quickly enough that you can feel your bum bouncing off the floor. It's a nasty one to start with this. Push your heart rate up a bit. 2, 1, 10 seconds rest. So over into plank. Elbows apart, elbows below shoulders, hands apart. Off you go. Ten seconds. And then move up onto your chair or your sofa. 2, 1. I don't mind 20 seconds of plank, that's not too horrific. Okay, so onto the surface you're using for the tricep dip. Go. So it's 2 dips, change legs. Try and keep your elbows back as much as possible. 2, 1. Up you get. Arms. So jump squats. If you're worried about your knees, a really high squat. Off you go. Work on keeping your weight into your heels as well. If you absolutely can't do this, if your knees are really hurting, then the option is a deadlift jump instead. That keeps the weights completely behind your knees. Rest. Arm sprints. Sit down. Oh. Go. So start with a few, slow, steady, and go, sprint. Keep looking straight ahead. Drive your arms back as hard as you can. Rest, over into plank. 3, 2, 1, go. So make sure you keep your bum low, tucked under, tummy pulled up to spine. Squeeze your glutes as well. 3, 2, 1. Triceps. So when I'm doing this, my arms stay quite out to the side because my chest muscles are so tight, but try and keep your arms pushed back as much as you can. Off you go. Oh, these burn after a while, don't they? 2, 1, jump squats. So again, if you're not happy with knees, deadlift jumps. That's tapping the floor between your feet. 3, 2, 1, off you go. So I'm not really bringing my feet off the floor very much. It definitely feels hard enough. 2, 1, rest. 40 seconds rest. And I've got that all to do again. Joe, while I remember, because I completely forgot to say last week, do you want to borrow some weights? Yeah. I keep looking at them thinking, I must ask Jo if she wants some. So.
Well, yes, you mentioned it, didn't you?
You want to borrow a few kilograms worth of those?
Yeah.
Put some more on your bar.
Yeah, fab, okay.
Just let me know, I can leave them outside the house.
Oh, thank you. You said this ages ago, didn't you? Thank you.
Like months ago.
Yeah, that's me. I've totally forgotten.
No, I'm me.
Thank you. I'll
let me know.
Cheers.
All right, get ready. We're starting again in 5 seconds. 2, 1, go. So steady arm drive for a few seconds. And sprint, go. I had to say that when I remembered, Joe, otherwise I'd forget for another 2 months. 2, 1, rest. Over onto your front, straight into plank. Hands apart, weight over your elbows, off you go. Make sure you got your legs completely straight. Keep everything squeezed tight. Don't let your shoulders dip either, so keep your shoulders active. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Dips. Onto the bench. I think this has got to be my least favourite of the day, this one. 2, 1, off you go. Highlights how much I've neglected my upper body strength and have not been swimming the last year. 2, 1, jump squats. Oh, good sweat on yet? Yeah. 2, 1, go. I appear to be wearing some sort of thermal sock as well, which is really clever. 5 seconds. Down you go, arm drives. Final set. Off you go. So slow. 2, 1, go. Hard. Really go for it. Last set. Think about really driving those arms back. Quick movement. Bum bouncing off the floor. 2, 1. Over you go into plank. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Go. So don't let your upper back slump. Keep it engaged. My elbows are slipping apart on my mat. 2, 1. Last set of dips. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Five seconds. 2, 1. Last one, jump squats. So if you're happy, knees are happy doing this, just try and get a little bit more of a jump on this last set. 2, 1, go. Oh. 2, 1. Rest. Rest, rest. Perfect. Grab a drink. I can stop you, right? Bye-bye tabata workout. Okay. Last little exercise then, just finish off with, let your heart rate come down to control. So get onto your back. Actually, I need to spin around, there we go. Get the sun out of my eyes. So, on your back, arms are staying static, you're doing a half dead bug. So one thing you can do with this, if you want to help to anchor your back to the ground, is to hold the weight above your shoulders. That does actually make it a bit easier to keep your back down. And if you want to make it even easier, let your legs finish a bit closer in towards your chest. Nice and slow and steady with the movement. You should feel your heart rate coming down over the minute. Keep your lower back pushed down all the time. What's lovely is I can feel sweat running into my ear. That's nice. Keep going. Twenty more seconds. Last 10. Good. 3, 2, 1. If you are holding your weight, just put it gently to the floor. And then I want you to hug one knee into your chest. Let the other leg extend onto the floor. And just hold that for a few seconds on each side. Nice deep breaths. So the leg that you've got straight, I want you to actually actively push that foot away from your body. So you're push, 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 pushing. Imagine you're pushing your foot against a wall. And then when I say just relax, 2, 1, and relax, and let your leg drop to the floor again. Good, and then change sides, so hug the other leg in. Just let that leg extend, fall on the floor. If your hips are a bit tight and you can feel this pinching as you bring your knee into your chest, just kind of slowly increase that pull. And then actively push that leg. So imagine you're pushing into the wall again. Push, 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 push. And then relax. Good, and then slowly roll onto your front into child pose. But this time, I want you to take your knees apart and your feet apart. So if you can see what my leg's doing, it's called a frog stretch. So I'll show you from the side and then from the front. You can see what my feet and my legs are doing. And then you can put your elbows to the floor and push back. Now, if you've got really tight hips, you won't get very far back, that's okay. Just gently push into the stretch. Don't force it, it shouldn't be painful. If it hurts, release a little bit. So you should feel a stretch through your inner thighs and your hips in this position. Good, and then slowly come out of that stretch. So bring your knees in together, hands underneath your shoulders, and then push up into downward dog. Trying to get your feet down to the floor. Feet down, heels down makes more sense. You should have your feet down. So bend your legs ever so slightly. And then straighten and try and get your heels down a bit more. If they weren't quite on the floor, try again. And then release down onto your knees. So I want you to do a kneeling or standing quad stretch now. So if you want to do a standing stretch, just come up off your knees and stand up. If you can do it as a kneeling stretch, do this one on the floor. Well done. Good, and then change sides. And release. Good, slowly stand up. So hanging on to something, I want you to cross one leg over the other, like that. If you can't hold on to something, you can do it free. And then just lower down. I'll show you from this side as well. And then if you can, actually put some pressure on your knee and push your knee away from your body. If this is impossible to do standing up, then do a lying or seated glute stretch instead. Good, and then change sides. And then release. Standing up, making sure that you don't let your back arch, so bum tucked under. One hand between your shoulder blades. Push your hand down. Tricep stretch. So just think about keeping your core braced. Bum tucked under. And then change sides. Well done. Try not to lean or dip your head when you're doing this. Keep looking straight ahead. And then release. And then last one, just roll your shoulders back a few times. And then slowly fold in half. Let your arms drop down. Head drop down as well. A few deep breaths. Then bend your knees slightly and roll all the way up again. And stretch up tall. And done. Well done. Good work today. No burpees, but tricep dips instead. So, you know, swings and roundabouts.
Thank you.
Well done. Lovely to see you.
Thanks, Catherine. Hope it all goes well with Simon and.
Oh yeah, because
yeah, thank you. Yeah, he's got one more day out over at Rise today with them, and then he's got 3 days of packing before he goes on Monday. So, yes, it's not going to be a stress-free few days, but you know, we have wine, so
yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's all we need.
Yes. Oh, good luck.
Thank you, darling.
Good luck.
See you later. Have a lovely few days. Bye.
Bye.